Hello everyone, this is Mehak Upadhyay, a legal internet lexicon company. So today's topic of discussion is the next part of types of evidences. In today's video, I'll be talking about four types of evidences. First one is the real evidence. Then we have this hearsay evidences. Then we have direct evidence, and then the last is the circumstantial evidences. So let's start with real evidences. Real evidences are the physical objects. Physical objects, for example, we can have other murder weapons like knife or pieces of glasses, the fingerprints, the footprints, the DNA samples, the blood sample, the pieces of the clothes of the victim, or the shoes, or any such things that can be touched, that can be seen or feel. If one say that the documents, the papers are also the things that can be touched, so are they included in real evidences? No, they are not included in real evidences. They are documents. Papers are as a piece of paper. A piece is a piece of a document. Once anything is written in a document and it is sealed and marked, it is a piece of document. It is a formal document. So once a statement is written, or once the document is furnished, it will be a documentary evidences. Although it can be said to be a category of real evidences, but it does not explicitly falls as in real evidence. It is involved in a special category, a documentary evidence, that need to be proved with the help of primary and secondary evidences. So real evidences can be physical things that are collected directly from the incident place of incident. Then we have hearsay evidences. Hearsay are the rumors. So hearsay evidences are the statement of witnesses who did not have who had not witnessed the crime or witnessed the wrong, but have heard the rumors related it, and those rumors are nowhere related to the time and place of the incident. So these hearsay evidences are not admissible to the court, but they do have an exception. Exception is under section 6 of Indian evidences, the principle of res geste. Means if a hearsay evidence, if a statement of witnesses, although not the direct party of the transaction, but the statement is so closely related to the fact and issue that it can be a relevant fact, as it form a part of the same transaction. For example, if one person is standing on the highway and he had witnessed this accident between a collision of a car and a bike, then the statement of that witness would be and that person has suddenly communicated that whole incident to the other person. So that statement and that other person, for example, let us name those persons. For example, A and B, the car and the bus collided. A was the person who witnessed the accident in actual, but A conveyed the whole scenario or the whole accident to C. During the proceedings of the same incident, C was presented as a witness, and in his statement he narrated the whole story of the accident as was communicated to him by the A. But if the time gap between the conveying of A to B, A to C of the whole incident is very short, that there can be no doubt of any fabrication of impediments in it, then the statement of C would be admissible in the court with under section 6, as it forms the same as the statement, or as the statement was made by the due to the same transaction. It is so closely related to the to the transaction in question. So it would be an exception to hearsay. Then we have direct evidences. In the same scenario where the A had witnessed a crime scene, A's evidences, A's witness statements would be direct evidence. There would be no question to it as to about its reliability, about its credibility, and the court need not to contemplate on his statements. They can directly rely on it. They do not need to search into it to find it to be reliable, credible or not. And the circumstantial evidences. In circumstantial evidences, a court needs to consider the circumstances, needs to consider all the facts of the facts of the case, and then need to infer the evidence from basis of this, and need to infer a judgment on the basis of that, on the basis of the circumstances present, because there was no direct evidence. So the courts need to consider all the circumstances therein, and then comes to a conclusion. So in that case, all the statements, all the conclusions the state would derive would be considered as to be furnished from the circumstantial evidences. So this was all about the four types of evidences. So if you like the video, do like and share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.